大家好，欢迎大家来到今日点击的特别节目《坦克人的故事》，我是石涛。我们已经跟大家介绍了5期坦克人的故事的内容。那几乎当时现场的状况呢，我们都经历过了。那在这个时间段里面，我也跟大家介绍过，6月4号的凌晨7点多，我到了3环立交桥的正中间。我当时的想法就是想看机场会出现什么，因为在三环立交桥那儿，三元立交桥那儿，距离机场的位置大概22公里左右，大概了。现在什么样不知道。鸦雀无声，瓢泼大雨，下着那么大的雨，但是给我的感觉是死静死静。穿个裤衩，穿个吊篮背心，拿个雨伞，弄个踏拉板，那就是当时的我。我拿了个雨伞，我当时后来我想，这个雨伞可能后来搞不好，如果不小心的话，今天就跟大家没这机会白活了。212吉普，4个当兵的，1个当官的，从3环桥的下面上来，4把枪直接对着我。我冲着机场的方向，他们从下面从这一侧转上来，用枪对着我，吓坏了，那确实吓坏了。一直这么对过来，从我的背后向国际展览中心方向走了。我就一扭脸向相反的方向走。我自己跟自己说，绝对不能跑，绝对不能慌张，绝对不能哆嗦。你刚才什么样就什么样，不能有任何身体上的变化。在九评共产党当中提到了一个很关键的问题，中共营造恐惧，这是独裁的魔鬼的统治的方式，用谎言摧毁人与人之间的信任。上百万的人出来游行，人与人之间是相信的。伟大的党镇压了为了人民的理由，镇压了这些暴乱分子之后，人人产生了恐惧。为什么邪恶？它整个制度的屠杀，制度的邪恶，建立的这个制度，所有在这个制度中的人会遭到系统的人性的泯灭的过程，这是最要命的地方。那营造恐惧目的呢，是建立辉煌。我们就看看辉煌。
The symbolism of what he did was overwhelmingly clear. He spoke for the Beijing people. Before June 4th, you had millions of people all over China in the cities, up in the streets, peacefully demanding more rights, freedom, democracy, press freedom, end to corruption. After June 4th, what did you have? You had one man, one sacrificial figure almost, who took it on himself to speak for everyone else who had been silenced by that time.
But what happened to that young man? The only clue comes in the last few seconds when he was hustled away by 4 men. Their identity is key, but those who witnessed that moment had very different impressions.
We don't know who those people were. And, you know, maybe they saved him. Things like that happened all over Beijing in those days. People were wounded. People would pick them up and take them to the streets. People would take people into their homes.
I feel very strongly that it was Public Security Bureau people that got him They were on the rooftops with binoculars and walkie-talkies, and they were controlling the outer areas of the square as you would control any military operation, the high ground. It seemed like they had snatch teams of people they were conducting down below. Even if it wasn't PSB, I seriously doubt he could have gotten past the net of security.
Well, if it was the PSB who took him to one side, what would have been his fate?
Well, I felt pretty strongly that he was executed. We saw a lot of public executions put on Chinese TV shortly after that. And it was for people that had done far less offenses than embarrass the government in such a way.
In the aftermath of the Beijing massacre, tens of thousands all across the country were arrested. Unknown numbers were executed, some are still in prison today. China television portrayed these people as counter-revolutionaries, hooligans, and agents of foreign powers. But they never produced the young protester who had become the most powerful symbol of resistance to the regime. Could that possibly be a cause for hope?
I don't think they had him, or they would have, at that stage, displayed him. I think that the people who took the tank man away were concerned people. If you've ever seen security people manhandle a Chinese citizen, they're really brutal. They twist your arm, they make you bend over, they punch you a few times, they kick you. So to me, I think he was helped to the side of the road. He wasn't being arrested.
And that raises the intriguing possibility that he's still alive.
I think that he is. The fact that we have not heard from him since that amazing incident tells me he's still alive, he's still there, he has not been caught, and he's certainly not telling anybody that he's the man.
If Tank Man has survived, where is he now? Since the day he made his heroic stand, his country has changed beyond recognition. Old economic dogmas were cast aside. To attract foreign capital, China's leaders created special economic zones and removed many restrictions on foreign ownership and investment. The results were dramatic. 15 years ago, this entire skyline didn't exist, just paddy fields. China's rise is the story of the 21st century, and it is rooted in the events of 1989.
This was Deng Xiaoping's great moment of genius. After the massacre of 1989, he in effect said, we will not stop economic reform. We will, in effect, halt political reform. What he basically said to people was, folks, you're in a room. There are two doors. One door says politics, one door says economics. You open the economic door, you're on your own, you can go the full distance, do basically whatever you want, get wealthy, help your family, have a bright future, move forward into a glorious future. You open the political door, you're going to run right into one obstruction after another, and you're going to run into the state. There was a point to that. This was meant to buy the Communist Party a new lease on life. On the one hand, intimidate opposition for a generation. On the other hand, give the people bread and circuses. And the deal is there must be no challenge to one-party rule. That's the terms of today's China. That's the deal.
And for those who rose against the regime in 1989, principally city people, the deal has paid off. After decades of austerity, they have access to everything money can buy. No dream seems unattainable here, no expense too daunting. And the speed of the change is breathtaking. The high-speed train from Shanghai Airport to the city uses a technology developed in Germany but considered far too expensive to be practical. But it stands as an important symbol of China's aspirations, no matter if the train is often empty. Underpinning these visionary projects is an economy hurtling forward at a staggering rate of 9% a year as China draws in hundreds of billions of dollars of foreign investment. Whole production lines have been moved out of the United States and Europe and set up here, turning China into a factory for the world. Thousands of the most familiar Western brands, toys, textiles, electronic goods are now made in China. We do the research and marketing, they actually make the stuff. China has overtaken the United States as the world's largest consumer of coal, steel, meat and grain. Within the past 5 years, its oil demand has doubled. It is the world's second largest car market and in a decade could be the world's largest.
It is an amazing miracle what has happened since 1989. And anyone such as myself standing there during those weeks couldn't have imagined in their wildest imagination that come 2006, China would be where it is today, and the party would still be enthroned.